What if the most powerful way to win in life wasn't by shouting the loudest, showing off your victories, or proving yourself to the world, but by moving in silence, thinking deeply, and letting your actions speak for themselves? Imagine a life where you don't need applause, validation, or attention to feel successful. Instead, you find strength in your own mind, clarity in your own thoughts, and victory in your own quiet progress. This isn't just a fantasy. It's the Stoic way, and it's a path that Marcus Aurelius, one of history's greatest thinkers and leaders, walked every single day. In a world obsessed with noise, social media updates, endless opinions, constant comparison, silence has become a rare superpower. Most people are so busy talking, reacting, and chasing approval that they never stop to listen to their own thoughts. They never pause to ask, what do I really want? What truly matters to me? But Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, knew that the answers to life's biggest questions are found in stillness, not in noise. Think about it. When was the last time you sat in silence and just let your mind wander? When did you last reflect on your day, your choices, your dreams, without distraction, without judgment, without the need to share it with anyone else? Marcus Aurelius wrote his most profound thoughts in a private journal, never meant for the world to see. He didn't write for fame or followers. He wrote to understand himself, to master his emotions, and to remind himself of what truly matters. This is the first Stoic principle: be silent. Not because you have nothing to say, but because silence is where wisdom grows. In silence, you can hear your own intuition. In silence, you can separate what's important from what's just noise. In silence, you can observe your emotions without being ruled by them. Marcus Aurelius believed that the mind is like a garden. If you don't tend to it, weeds of worry, anger, and distraction will take over. But if you sit quietly, pull out the weeds, and nurture your best thoughts, you create a space where clarity and peace can flourish. But silence isn't just about being quiet on the outside. It's about creating stillness on the inside. It's about learning to pause before you react, to listen before you speak, to reflect before you judge. The world will always try to pull you into its chaos. People will try to provoke you, distract you, or drag you into their drama. But the Stoic path is to remain unmoved, to be the calm in the storm, the steady hand in the chaos, the silent observer who sees everything but is controlled by nothing. This kind of silence is not weakness. It's not passivity. It's not hiding from life. It's the foundation of true strength. When you can sit with your own thoughts, face your own fears, and resist the urge to react to every little thing, you become unshakable. You become the kind of person who doesn't need to prove anything to anyone, because you know who you are, and that's enough. So, the next time you feel the urge to speak just to fill the silence, or to react just to be heard, pause. Ask yourself, is this necessary? Is this wise? Is this true to who I want to be? Remember, Marcus Aurelius led an empire, faced betrayal, war, and loss, but he found his greatest victories in the quiet moments of reflection. He knew that real power comes not from noise, but from depth. This is your invitation to embrace silence, not as emptiness, but as the birthplace of your best ideas, your deepest strength, and your quietest victories. The world may never see your silent battles, but you will feel their impact in every area of your life. Silence is only the beginning. Once you create space from the noise, you unlock the second Stoic principle: think deep. In a world that rewards quick answers and surface-level thinking, Marcus Aurelius challenged himself to go deeper. He questioned his own motives, examined his beliefs, and refused to accept easy answers. He wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. What you think about, you become." If your mind is filled with shallow worries, gossip, or envy, your life will reflect that. But if you train yourself to think deeply, to ask, why, until you reach the root of your feelings and actions, you begin to shape your soul into something strong, wise, and resilient. Deep thinking isn't about overanalyzing or getting lost in endless loops of worry. It's about honest self-examination. It's about asking yourself tough questions. Why did I react that way? What am I really afraid of? What do I truly value? Marcus Aurelius used his journal as a mirror, reflecting on his day, his mistakes, and his victories. He didn't judge himself harshly, but he didn't let himself off the hook either. He believed that the unexamined life is a wasted opportunity, a chance to grow that slips away in the rush of daily distractions. In today's world, deep thinking is a radical act. Most people skim the surface of their lives, never pausing to question their habits, their goals, or their beliefs. They chase what everyone else is chasing, want what everyone else wants, and wonder why they feel empty. But the Stoic path is different. It's about digging beneath the surface, finding your own truth, and living by it, even if no one else understands. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that opinions are just that, opinions. He wrote, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." Deep thinking means separating what you know from what you assume, what you feel from what is real. It means being willing to challenge your own stories, to let go of beliefs that no longer serve you, and to build your life on a foundation of wisdom, not just information. But deep thinking isn't just about looking inward. It's about seeing the world with clear eyes. It's about noticing the patterns in your life, the lessons in your struggles, and the opportunities hidden in your challenges. Marcus Aurelius faced betrayal, illness, and war, but he used every hardship as a chance to grow wiser. He didn't waste time blaming others or wishing things were different. Instead, he asked, "What can I learn from this? How can I use this to become better?" This is the heart of Stoic wisdom. Life will test you, but every test is a chance to think deeper, to understand yourself more fully, and to respond with greater strength. When you train your mind to look beneath the surface, you stop being a victim of circumstance. You become the author of your own story. So, the next time you're faced with a challenge, don't just react. Don't just look for someone to blame or something to distract you. Instead, pause. Go deeper. Ask yourself, what is this moment trying to teach me? What belief or habit do I need to examine? How can I use this to grow? The answers you find in silence and deep thought will guide you to a life of meaning, purpose, and quiet confidence. Remember, Marcus Aurelius didn't become wise by accident. He became wise by making deep thinking a daily practice. You can do the same. The world may never see your inner work, but you will feel its power in every decision you make. Now comes the third Stoic principle: win quietly. In a world obsessed with recognition, likes, and applause, Marcus Aurelius teaches us the rare art of achieving greatness without the need for validation. He led armies, ruled an empire, and faced unimaginable challenges, yet he never boasted about his victories. His greatest triumphs were not the ones the world saw, but the ones he won within himself, overcoming anger, resisting temptation, and choosing virtue over ego. Winning quietly means letting your actions speak for themselves. It's about doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Just that you do the right thing. The rest doesn't matter." He didn't need to announce his discipline, his kindness, or his courage. He simply lived it, day after day, in the small choices and the big ones. He understood that true strength is silent, and real confidence doesn't need to shout. Think about how much energy is wasted trying to prove yourself to others. How often do we share our achievements just to get a reaction, or compare our progress to someone else's highlight reel? The Stoic way is different. It's about finding satisfaction in your own growth, not in the opinions of others. It's about knowing that your value isn't determined by applause, but by your character. Winning quietly also means embracing humility. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself that he was just a man, subject to the same flaws and struggles as everyone else. He wrote, Do not waste what remains of your life in speculating about your neighbors. Be concerned with yourself. Instead of seeking praise, he focused on self-improvement. Instead of chasing status, he chased wisdom. He knew that the loudest person in the room is rarely the wisest. But don't mistake quiet for weakness. The Stoic who wins quietly is not passive or invisible. They are powerful in a way that doesn't need to be seen to be real. Their victories are measured in self-control, in the ability to forgive, in the courage to keep going when no one is cheering. They know that the deepest fulfillment comes not from external rewards, but from the quiet pride of living true to your principles. So, how do you win quietly in your own life? Start by setting goals that matter to you, not to impress others, but to become the person you want to be. Celebrate your progress privately. Let your work, your kindness, and your discipline be their own reward. When you achieve something, thank yourself for your effort, and then move forward without the need for fanfare. Remember, the world may never notice your quiet victories, but you will feel their impact in your confidence, your peace, and your sense of purpose. Marcus Aurelius didn't need a crowd to know he was winning. He found his reward in the quiet satisfaction of a life well lived. This is the Stoic way: be silent. Think deep. Win quietly. Let your life be your message, and let your quiet strength inspire others to do the same. That if you've made it this far, you're already different from most. You're not just looking for quick fixes or surface-level motivation, you're searching for something deeper, something lasting. That's what Marcus Aurelius wanted for himself, and it's what he would want for you: a life built on inner strength, quiet confidence, and unshakable purpose. But how do you make these Stoic principles a living part of your daily life? It starts with small, intentional actions. Begin each morning with a moment of silence, no phone, no noise, just you and your thoughts. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be today? Throughout your day, practice thinking deeply about your choices. When you feel triggered, pause and reflect before you react. When you face a challenge, ask, what can I learn from this? And when you achieve something, celebrate quietly, knowing that your real reward is the growth you've earned. Surround yourself with people who value depth over drama, who inspire you to be better, and who respect your need for quiet reflection. Remember, you don't have to share every thought or victory with the world. Some of your greatest moments will be the ones no one else ever sees, the times you chose patience over anger, wisdom over impulse, or kindness over pride. Don't be discouraged if the world doesn't notice your silent victories. Marcus Aurelius wrote his meditations for himself, never expecting anyone else to read them. Yet those private reflections have inspired millions for centuries. Your quiet journey can have the same ripple effect. When you live with integrity, when you think deeply, and when you win quietly, you become a light for others, even if you never say a word. And remember, this path isn't about perfection. There will be days when you slip, when you react instead of reflect, when you crave recognition or get lost in the noise. That's okay. The Stoic way is about progress, not perfection. Every time you return to silence, every time you choose to think deeply, every time you win quietly, you're building a life that's truly your own. So as you finish this video, take a moment to appreciate your own journey. You're not just learning Stoic principles, you're living them. You're choosing to be silent in a noisy world, to think deeply in a shallow culture, and to win quietly in a world obsessed with attention. That's rare. That's powerful. And that's the kind of strength that lasts. If this message resonated with you, share your thoughts in the comments. Tell us about a time you chose silence over noise, depth over distraction, or quiet victory over public praise. Subscribe to join a community of thinkers, warriors, and real ones who are building a life of purpose and peace. And remember, every moment is a chance to practice. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow. Keep showing up. Keep choosing depth. And don't stop until you become unstoppable.